Hey ladies, don't forget to like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel and share. So I love showing you all these different ways that people are making money, and this is one of them. This person says here, I made $200,000 last year, which is 2021, ghostwriting tweets for superstar VCs. VCs are venture capitalists. It takes me 5 hours a week. Here's how I found my clients and built a booming side hustle from scratch. So I'm going to read a little bit of this article for you, ladies, and I have some commentary as well. So it says here, ghostwriting tweets for venture capitalists is my side hustle. Last year, I made about $200,000. Some VCs will pay you per tweet. I've done $100,000 threads to announce a big funding round, and I've also done $100 tweets. Other VCs pay you per month. For $5,000 to $10,000, I'll write 10 original tweets a month, and the rate goes up quickly from there. Now, the first thing I will say is you ladies may be asking, why in the world would somebody pay $100,000 for someone to tweet for them? I'm going to get to that, ladies, so just hang on. Let's have this as more of a conversation. So, the first thing is to know that there are people who will pay crazy amounts of money for other people to do things for them if there is a visible return on investment. And I'm going to show you some of the return on investment from this, okay? And the reason why these VCs will be willing to pay this. But I also think that there are other marketplaces, other people who would pay this kind of money for tweets, for Instagram posts, for YouTube, podcast producer help, things like that. So let's continue on with the article. Uh, and again, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so it says here, a single tweet I write can generate as many as 4 million impressions for my clients. They have accounts that range in size from 2,000 followers to 200,000 followers. Oddly, the smaller the number, they're more often willing to pay. The more they're often willing to pay. Those are the clients who need distribution more. I usually have between 25 and 50 clients at any given time. Sometimes I'll fire clients. I don't want to feel pressure to produce, and I don't want to interfere with my own company. So I have a special CRM. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management System. It's a software that you use to keep track of your clients. So he says here, so I have a special CRM I use just for my ghostwriting work, as well as a dedicated laptop, a dedicated phone, and a separate email address. I'll dip in and out of ghostwriting throughout the day, firing tweets into the phone. And it takes me only 5 hours a week. So again, this is what this person is doing. I like this because this person, most likely white male, let's be honest, has parameters with regards to what he is willing to do, what he's not willing to do. He has his own company where he's doing something else. He's doing this on the side. He has a separate business. He probably has a separate LLC for this, etc. So he's able to take all sorts of tax deductions because let's say he goes and he has lunch and he's tweeting for one of these VCs while he has lunch, then, he may be able to write it off a little bit better. So let's keep going. Why I'm worth the money. So ladies, listen to this section here. The best VCs of the 2000s generation made something like $100 million in their lifetime. So think about this. When we talk about return on investment, this guy may have a contract with someone, let's say they pay him $5,000 a month, that's $60,000 a year. But they are thinking they're going to make, in the early 2000s, they were going to make $100 million in their lifetime. So even if they pay him for 5 years at $60,000 a year, $100 million return on their investment. When you think about the types of companies that you want to start and grow, the type of audiences that you want to pursue, you need to think like this. It's not about how much they're paying you, it's about the return on their investment. Okay. Um, and then he says here, $100 million in the grand scheme of finance is nothing. I don't know about you, but if you give me $100 million, I'm chilling. Okay. But it's nothing to these people. Then he says, then something changed. Software companies got a little bigger. When Uber went public, you had a group of VCs who made $1 billion each. That was a kind of growing up moment for venture funding. Right now, the stakes are getting higher. And I did know this before I read this article. The stakes are getting higher. The guys who made $1 billion are not retiring. They are trying to do a $10 billion fund. The competition means the deal flow is faster and more cutthroat. What he's trying to say here is when somebody says, hey, a really good entrepreneur says, hey, I'm looking to raise money. There was a time when entrepreneurs, let's just say white and Asian males, because it's not Black people right now, but white and Asian males would say, hey, I've got this great company and I'm looking for investors. Those white and Asian males would have to beg these VCs to fund them. Now things have flipped. If these white and Asian male entrepreneurs have a good thing going, these VCs are in great competition to get in on these good companies because there's only going to be so many Ubers, so many Coinbases, so many companies like this that have reached the $1 billion plus unicorn mark. And all of these VCs want into these few companies. So that's what's happening. Okay, so then let's talk about Twitter and why this guy is making $200,000 a year doing 5 hours of work per week doing tweets for these people. Okay, so let's wrap it all in. The competition means the deal flow is faster and more cutthroat. Today, the best deals are closing within 24 hours after they go to market, and there's no way to get in early as you could in the old days because founders won't take a meeting with you before the funding round is closed. Now, what does that have to do with Twitter? It matters because funders have to build parasocial relationships with founders. A founder might read a tweet from a VC and say, wow, he's a cool guy. He's in on the joke. I want him on my board. Establishing yourself as a funder is no longer a one-to-one format where you're building meaningful relationships. It's a one-to-many format. You're broadcasting. I'm writing the content that will get the attention of young founders to establish the credibility of my clients, the VCs. So, in other words, let's say that you truly have a product that's working in the marketplace and is truly going to be the next Uber or the next big thing, and it's going to sell for a gazillion dollars. The VC wants to be in a position where that founder contacts him directly, him or her, but let's say him, we'll be sexist here, contacts the VC directly and says, hey, I'm about to start raising funds. Would you like to be considered as part of this round? So this goes back to why this guy gets $200,000 a year ghostwriting tweets, because the VCs are using the tweets as a way to get on the radar of these big companies, these future big companies, the next Ubers that are coming up. Okay, what does this have to do with you? Number one, there may be smaller VCs that need this kind of help. If you are really great at tweeting, coming up with different posts, things like that, this could be an option for you for making money. Number two, there may be other groups of people who need this kind of service, whether they want to talk to their people on Twitter, Again, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. Um, YouTube, there is a guy named Jason Calacanis who is known as one of the best angel investors that's out there. He has a daily podcast. And the reason he does this daily podcast is because when these entrepreneurs are looking around for money, he wants them to think of him in order to fund their companies. So again, it's not just about VCs, ladies. It's about if you want to make extraordinary amounts of money and you're good at something, finding the target market that's willing to pay you above and beyond, above and beyond, in order for you to get them a specific return on investment. So, if you have the premium of Business Insider, I will link this article in the description so you can read a little bit more about how he found his clients and things like that. But overall, I just want you to have an expanded thought process about how people are making money and how we can do the same. Okay, everybody, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, share this, and tell me something you're thinking about doing that could line up to something like this. And ladies, I will see you in the next video.